Hey guys, this is Andy from Double A Gaming and Tech, and I've had the Huawei Matebook X Pro for about a week now, and this is my review. So, first of all, let's talk about the design of the Huawei Matebook X Pro. And with that, of course, comes the screen. The Huawei Matebook X Pro has a stunning 3000 by 2000 3:2 aspect ratio screen that is a 91% screen to body ratio, which makes up for a wonderful screen, and it is just absolutely beautiful. On top of that, it's also touchscreen. This guy can get up to 458 nits of brightness, which is very bright, and honestly, it kind of sears your eyes. So, you may also be asking, if the screen is this big and I don't see where the camera is, where could the camera be? Well, the camera is neatly hidden right on this one key on the top row of your keyboard. Now, this is great as this gives you security and privacy, but this is really bad if you actually want to take calls seriously, because it gives you that wonderful up the nose angle and also gets your fingers in the way when you're typing. Yay! So, next up, let's talk about how you get into the device. Yes, you can use the password, but 2018, don't use that. Use the fingerprint reader. Now, this guy has the fingerprint reader built right into the power button, which makes it very easy to just click the power button and boom, you're in. Now, let's talk about the ports. On one side, you have a full-size USB-A port, which is nice for when you actually need it. And flip it over on the other side, you have two USB-Cs, one of which is, of course, it's Thunderbolt 3, although I think it's only 2 lanes, and of course also a headphone jack. So the port selections is very limited. I'd like to see an SD card slot or at least a micro SD. But then again, this is competing with the MacBook Pro, and that has just 4 USB-Cs. So it's still nice that this guy at least has a full-size USB-A. Now let's talk about the keyboard on the Huawei Matebook X Pro, and I honestly think that the keyboard is actually pretty good. It's kind of like the older MacBooks, and it gives me a pretty good typing experience, and usually people can get used to it pretty quick. Now next up, let's talk about one of the other best features of this computer besides the screen, and that is the speakers. The speakers are incredible. They sound very good. There are 4 of them, 2 on the front and 2 on the sides, and they are great. They are Dolby Atmos, and they have good bass, very clear, and I love them. So next up, let's talk about the trackpad. So the trackpad is pretty good. It's a Windows Precision driver, and it's a decently large size. But there has been this really weird glitch, where for just 1 or 2 seconds, the thing will just completely stop working no matter what I do. But usually, I can just wait a few seconds, put my finger back on the trackpad, and it works just fine. And I don't think it should be a big issue, but just know that it might happen to you too. Next up, let's talk about the specs on the Huawei Matebook X Pro, and there are 2 models. I have the lower end model, which is the Core i5 quad-core processor with 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and integrated graphics. You can also upgrade to another model, which is the Core i7, still quad-core, 512 gigs of storage, 16 gigs of RAM, and of course MX150 graphics. So I think if you have the money, it's worth it to upgrade the extra $300, not only because you get the storage and the RAM and the Core i7, but also because of that discrete graphics, which will basically let you do video editing and a little bit of light gaming, which is good. But then again, this laptop is not meant for gamers or even content creators. This is more for like the average Joe, the guy who just wants to, watch some TV or do some Word. Something simple like that. This isn't for those heavy usage people. And I feel like as that, the specs do a perfectly good job. And for their competitors, which is of course the Dell XPS 13 and also the MacBook Pro, they beat it by far, but with the MX150. But then again, if you're going to compare it to like for example, a Dell XPS 15, this guy starts to fall behind. But, they're kind of in 2 different categories. So, I guess in this portable and not very powerhouse section, this guy is the winner. So, in conclusion, is the Matebook X Pro any good? Well, in my opinion, it's a pretty good laptop for basically everybody, except for those select few. So this is for that average Joe, typing up that Word document or watching those YouTube videos. By the way, please subscribe. And, doing that basic stuff. But if you're in those select few, doing that 3D rendering, gaming, or video editing, then look elsewhere. This is not the laptop for you. But if you're not so focused on power, this guy has a beautiful screen waiting for you and a pretty lightweight body as well. Now this is kind of just a generic looking product, as it's basically a MacBook Pro clone, but as long as you're okay with that, you should be fine. This is no really crazy, weird, wacky product that you might like, but just that consistent product that we all know and that some of us or most of us love. So this computer is a great computer for those people. Now that's it for today. If you want to, please subscribe and also hit that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. We just hit 130 subscribers and I'm really thankful for that. And look out for other videos as well coming soon to you in theaters. No, not in theaters, just on my YouTube channel. Okay, bye.